Hare Krishna. I hope everyone is well and safe. Today, I would like to read to you a Sankirtan story from my new book, The Divine Love Trip. And the story is called Bruised Ego. I went out 6 days a week for 15 years to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books, 10 years at Los Angeles Airport. Codename LAX. We often called it Hell-AX because there were so many demons anxiously waiting to disrupt our Sankirtan activities. We were on the front lines of Lord Chaitanya's mighty army, and Maya held nothing back from us. Though it was an austere service with many arrests by watchful guards and policemen and constant harassment by envious workers, all the book distributors were dedicated to pleasing Srila Prabhupada. Anyone who received one of Srila Prabhupada's books was greatly blessed and had his or her spiritual life awakened. In the airport, there was always an audience. We knew the passengers were watching us. They were amazed to see us run from soul to soul for hours without stopping, delivering the message of Godhead. Sometimes this made people curious, and other times envious. In any case, it is always the duty of a Sankirtan devotee to know he or she is representing Srila Prabhupada and to behave accordingly. One day, in the international terminal, I gave a book to a gentleman from Thailand. It was a sweet exchange, and he was pleased to take a Bhagavad Gita and give a donation. A woman who was waiting nearby for her flight had her eyes glued to me. As she watched me, envy brewed in her heart. Finally, she came up to the man who had taken a book and blurted out, "Don't take that book. You don't need it. This girl only wants your money." I immediately took up the challenge and said to the man, "No, it's not true. This is a wonderful ancient classic about the absolute truth, and as you read it, you will be grateful that you received it." The man was confused. Shrinking away from the conflict, he then disappeared with a book in his hand. I told the envious woman that she should also take a book. It would ultimately make her happy. She responded harshly, "I'm Jewish. I don't need your garbage." But I wasn't finished. Maybe there was still hope for this rude scoundrel. I innocently replied, "I'm also Jewish, and I read this book every day." Her face reddened, and as she came closer, it looked like she was emanating smoke from her nostrils. With each step closer, she uttered in disbelief, "You're Jewish? You're Jewish?" Finally, when there were only 6 inches between us, she spit in my face before fiercely walking away. I was in shock. Many things had happened to me on Sankirtan, but never this. Tears welled up in my eyes, and I again remembered that I was there representing Srila Prabhupada. There were plenty of people around. The terminal was crowded. I slowly walked toward the gates where the passengers waited to board their flights and sat down. I had to contain myself as I processed what happened. As I sat there with a bruised ego, a gentleman who had witnessed the events stepped out of the line waiting to board his flight and approached me. With compassion, eager to encourage me and stop my tears, he said, "Don't listen to her. She's envious and has her own problems." Then this kind soul asked, "Do you have any more of those books? I would like one," and handed me a donation. At this time, I was distributing 2 books to every person, the Bhagavad Gita and the Science of Self-Realization. Fully recovered with the soothing help of his words, I said to this knight in shining armor, I have plenty of books. Here, take 2. He then happily boarded his plane, and I saw Krishna's causeless mercy. The man was qualified to receive Srila Prabhupada's books, and the envious intruder merged back into the captivity of Maya. I resumed my Sankirtan endeavors and contemplated what had just transpired. Things like this often happen on the battlefield. Many times I hoped the demigods and the heavenly planets, who are supporters of the Sankirtan movement, saw these miraculous events. I knew I could not be the only one appreciating them.